Steve Smith's indiscretion that he engaged in a few months ago is going to come back to bite him in a big way with dollar signs attached to it. Let's check out the latest lawsuit.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to a, well, we call you normies.
So most of you know who Steve Smith is, right? The ex-NFL wide receiver, I believe, for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Steve Smith was caught up in a very big scandal earlier in this year involving another man's wife. It was posted all over social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and even to the case where the victim here, which would be the husband in this case, his name is Mr. Tony Martinez, as you can see right here. Now, this is Tony Martinez's X page. He has since deleted a lot of the revelations that he found off his wife's cell phone. But of course, he's still throwing heavy shade at Steve Smith, and, well, to be fair, rightfully so, okay? And this is the picture that was actually in his wife's cell phone that Steve Smith sent to his wife during a conversation, okay? Now, also, let's go back here. Now, this man, Mr. Martinez, actually called Steve Smith to confront him about the affair that his wife was having with him, and I think Steve Smith hung up. It was a very tense phone call. Here's a text message here where Steve Smith was texting and talking to his wife. Now, there are a lot of other text messages. If you go online, especially on X, you can find all the conversation, because he posted way more than this, but this is just the one that I found on IG. But there's more messages that are more explicit that was sent between him and his wife and Steve Smith. All right. And that brings you back to the lawsuit in question, because in North Carolina, I believe there is some type of statute or law that says, well, if you're going through a divorce and your spouse, with whether husband or wife, has engaged in infidelity, you can actually sue the affair partner for breaking up your marriage for the reason why you're getting divorced after the fact. You see what I'm saying? And that brings me, like I said, to the lawsuit. Steve Smith, NFL star, sued, "You banged my wife and destroyed my marriage." And that's not to say that his wife didn't also destroy it, but of course, Steve Smith participated, right? And so there is grounds to sue him for, like he says, destroying his marriage. Let's look at the facts. Ex-NFL superstar Steve Smith allegedly ruined a marriage earlier this year, and now he's being sued over it. Antonio Martinez claims in a lawsuit which he filed in North Carolina this week that Steve Smith broke up his loving relationship with Nicole Martinez after he willfully, maliciously, and intentionally seduced her during a September 24th encounter in Baltimore.
Enemy spotted.
Enemy spotted. Indeed. Antonio alleges that the former Ravens wideout met Nicole while he was in town to shoot an episode of the NFL's Most Interesting Jobs with Steve Smith. Antonio says Nicole was a member of the Ravens marching band, and Smith got close to her as he joined the group for the NFL Network show. So he's alleging that Antonio came on to his wife. Smith, by and through an agent of the NFL, Antonio wrote in the suit, provided his phone number to contact and communicate with Nicole. Subsequently, he added, Smith began communicating with Nicole, calling her and exchanging numerous text messages with her. Antonio claims some of the messages contained very explicit content, including pictures of Smith's baloney pony and videos of Smith pleasuring himself.
Ain't no way.
Boy. For just $5 a month, please consider becoming a member of Welcome to Normieville. There you will find access to members-only videos and members-only live streams, as well as a host of other perks. Thank you for your consideration. Back to the video. The suit states Smith then had intercourse with Nicole in January of 2025 after the two had attended a Ravens playoff game together. Now, I assume this snapshot here, this screenshot, is a back and forth, a conversation, text messages that Steve Smith and the wife had together. Plaintiff's wife and defendant being Steve Smith. I'm sure I will leave a link to this article in the description box. You can read all these messages, but they are pretty descriptive and explicit, if you will. Antonio shared some of the messages he says Steve sent to his wife, including one that read, "I would love to bend you over the sink right now."
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
According to the suit, Antonio found out about it all in February and then confronted Steve over the matter in a phone call which was recorded and later posted to social media. Antonio states in the suit that he eventually filed for divorce from Nicole, whom he had one child. As you see, this is the couple right here, the former couple now, him and his then wife and his little child. Of course, they're not together no more. They broke up, or they got divorced after this very unfortunate event. As a result of Smith's actions and the adulterous relationship between Smith and Nicole, the lawsuit states the existing love and affection which existed between plaintiff and his wife was alienated and destroyed. Antonio is suing for over $100,000. Smith has not publicly commented on the matter. Well, again, in North Carolina, this is a suable offense. It's called, I think, marriage alienation or something like that. I'll look it up. But there is a law on the books in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, because another man did this some years ago and he won. And it created another precedent. You know what I'm saying? So this man has grounds to sue Steve Smith. He'll probably get way more than he'll get more than 100,000. But of course, you had to put a dollar amount on his pain. I'm sure he will do that in court. And well, some of y'all will go back and research this thing. I think I did a video on this before. If I didn't, no, you all go back in the crates, go back in social media a few months ago, TMZ or Shade Room, all the other places, or some of these football or sports pages, and on YouTube as well. And yeah, this is bad. This is bad. So I hope this man gets his compensation for what happened. And Steve Smith, I hope he moves better in the future when he wants to get his rocks off. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of Normie. You know me, I'm just a Normie here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports news and entertainment. Let me know what you think about this lawsuit. And well, in my opinion, Steve Smith is cooked. Down in the comment section, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell way out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.